Are you planning a trip to Italy and wonder, should I visit Pompeii or Herculaneum? Well, stay tuned because today we're going to tell you everything you need to know about these two incredible sites so that you can make a better decision on which one you should visit, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. And welcome back to Travel Addicts. If you're new here, we live right here in Italy. And every week we share the best travel tips to help you make the most out of your Italian adventure. Today we are heading south to the Bay of Naples to explore two most fascinating archaeological sites in the world, Pompeii and Herculaneum. Both were buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, but the experience you'll have visiting each one is completely different. So, which one should you visit in your trip to Italy? Let's find out. Let's start about talking a bit about history.
Right. So in the year 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted violently. It covered the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum in ash, pumice, and mud. Not very nice, right?
No.
Pompeii was a bustling Roman city with about 12,000 people, and it was buried under 4 to 6 meters of volcanic ash. Now, Herculaneum, a smaller coastal town of around 5,000 people, was hit a bit differently. It was buried under a thick layer of volcanic mud that later hardened like concrete. And this is a key difference that what buried each city, right? Ash versus mud changed everything about what survived.
Pompeii gives us a wide open look at the Roman daily life, but Herculaneum preserved things that you can't see anywhere else, like wooden furniture, food, and even papyrus scrolls. Now, let's move on to another very important part, how to get to Pompeii and Herculaneum. Pompeii and Herculaneum are located near the city of Naples in southern Italy, and Naples is the best base camp if you want to go to explore these amazing two sites. To get to the sites from the city of Naples, you have a few options. The first one is the Circumvesuviana train. This commuter train connects Naples to several towns around the slopes of Mount Vesuvius. That's why it's called Circumvesuviana, including Sorrento, Pompeii, and Herculaneum. From Naples to Herculaneum, the train takes about 18 minutes, while to get to Pompeii, it takes about 25-30 minutes. The ride is easy, cheap, and very convenient. If you want to know more about how to get to the Pompeii and Herculaneum, we made an entire video about this, and you can check it up here. The second option to get to Pompeii or Herculaneum is by taxi. Taxis in Naples have a fixed rate to take you to the sites. For example, from Naples to Pompeii, it costs 70 euros at the time of recording each way, and you have very limited time at the sites. This is a very convenient way to get there, especially if you do not like to plan in advance. However, it is also expensive, and in our opinion, it's not worth it.
Unlimited, right?
Yeah. Lastly, you can take organized tour. There are several companies that offer tours to both sides. However, using a tour is very structured and takes you away all the flexibility that you have by doing it on your own by train.
Right, that's actually very good advice. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about the main differences between the two sites, right? Herculaneum and Pompeii, because there are some differences. So, one of the biggest differences between Pompeii and Herculaneum is, well, Pompeii is dramatic and Herculaneum is detailed. Pompeii gives you kind of like that overwhelming sense of scale, right? You're walking through entire streets, visiting the public baths, the temples, even brothels. It's very immersive and emotional, especially when you see the plaster casts. Herculaneum, on the other hand, it feels like you're stepping into someone's home. You can see colorful frescoes, wooden shelves, everyday items, all perfectly preserved. It's much quieter, more atmospheric, and I would say it feels more alive. Now, Pompeii, on the other hand, feels like an entire city frozen in time. It's huge, about 170 acres of excavated streets, piazzas, and buildings, and you can easily spend an entire day there and you won't see everything. Herculaneum, on the other hand, is much smaller. It's only about 20 acres, but much better preserved. It feels much more intimate and much easier to explore in a few hours. Also, a big part of Herculaneum is still buried under the modern city, so it's not possible to excavate it without destroying all of the homes that have been built on top of the new city. Now, first things first, Pompeii is much more famous than Herculaneum, so most tourists go to Pompeii. So for this reason, Pompeii tends to be busier and more crowded than Herculaneum. But if you like the grand ruins, wide streets, and iconic sites like the amphitheater or the Forum, Pompeii, it's for you because it gives you that incredible feeling of walking through an actual Roman city that was complete with shops, bakeries, temples, and streets that you can even see the chariot runs, right?
Yeah, but also worth mentioning that Pompeii can feel overwhelming, especially in the summer, when it gets very hot and crowded, while Herculaneum is never too busy, and it allows you to have a much more intimate visit. It makes easier to imagine life was before the eruption. If you prefer detailed, beautiful preserved houses where you can see the frescoes and wooden beams still intact, Herculaneums will blow your mind. Now, Herculaneum might be a little smaller, but don't let this fool you. It's like stepping into a perfectly preserved Roman neighborhood. This is because the town was buried in under mud, not ash, and that sealed airtight. It's astonishing how much survived. You'll see original wooden doors, furniture, and even stairs. Also, because the mud preserved the city, most of the second floors are still in the houses, and they're still intact,
Yeah.
while in Pompeii they're completely gone. But probably the most emotional thing to see in Herculaneum that you won't see in Pompeii is down to the ancient shoreline. There you'll find the boathouses where the hundreds of people were trying to escape, and you can still see the skeleton of people that are there, and it's quite touching actually
Yeah.
to see that.
Okay, so now that we've covered the major differences, let's talk about some practical tips once you're there, starting with the tours and the audio guides. Now, even though it is possible to take a self guided tour or to use audio guides, we strongly recommend you to hire a guide if you're going to visit these incredible sites. In fact, a guide is able to point out details that will most likely be missed if you do it on your own. And of course, we used Vincenzo, which is twice, and he helped us point out many things that we would have never seen if we had done it on our own.
Absolutely.
And of course, we'll leave Vincenzo's contact information in the description if you'd like to hire him or his company as well.
Another very important thing to know are tickets an hour. So we strongly recommend you your tickets in advance to avoid the very long line at the ticket office, especially in Pompeii. And this is especially important in peak season. Also, it would be even better to buy the skip the line tickets to save you some times. You can scan this QR code or check the link in the description below to see the skip the line ticket. Pompeii opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 7 p.m. in the spring and the summer, while it closes at 5 p.m. in the fall and in the winter. Herculaneum opens at 8:30 a.m. and it closes at 7 p.m. in the spring and the summer, and while it's closed at 5 p.m. in the winter and in the fall.
So, how long should we spend in Pompeii and Herculaneum?
While Pompeii deserves at least half of a day,
Mm.
and ideally a full day if you want to explore everything in detail. Herculaneum can be comfortably done in 2 to 3 hours. It's a great option if you have a limited time, or you want something less exhausting, or if you're on a cruise ship. Now, what to wear when you visit Pompeii and Herculaneum?
Well, one of the most important things to keep in mind is the fact that both sites, you're going to be walking a lot on very uneven surfaces. And as we've said a million times before, wear comfortable shoes. Avoid the sandals or flip flops. Otherwise, you're probably going to trip. And at both sites, the shade is very limited. So it's quite important to bring a hat to protect your head. Now, in terms of clothes in the summertime, you'll probably want to wear something light and breathable because, well, like I said, it gets very hot,
Very
especially at Pompeii. In the winter, layers are okay because, in the morning or late afternoon, it'll be a little cooler. Well, around noon, when the sun comes out, it'll be actually quite nice. And facilities, right?
Pompeii has multiple entrances, restrooms, and even a cafe inside. It's well organized, but can get hot. It's always a good idea to bring some water with you and stay hydrated. Herculaneum is more compact. There's only one entrance with shaded areas and benches. There are restrooms at the entrance and by the small museum that is inside. There's no cafe at the Herculaneum, so be prepared.
Yeah, just bring a bottle of water
Mhm.
with you.
Yeah. For people with disabilities, both sides offer special routes designed for wheelchairs. You can download the map of these routes by following the link in the description below.
Mhm.
No, now, when is the best time to visit?
Well, I think it's best to say that the best time to visit Pompeii and Herculaneum is early spring or fall. In those two periods, the temperatures, they're going to be milder and the sites are not going to be so crowded. If you can, of course, you should avoid visiting in the middle of the summer when it's the hottest and the busiest. Now, if the summer is the only time you can go, well, maybe avoid going in the middle of the day. Instead, start early in the morning when it's cooler, when most tourists are still in bed. But now comes the big question, right? Can I visit both sites in one day? Is it possible?
Yes, you can still visit both in one day if you plan carefully. First, you will have to buy the skip the line tickets in advance, otherwise, you will end up waiting most of your time in line. Then you will start early in the morning and catch the first train to Herculaneum, ideally around 8 a.m., in order to be at the site at 8:30 when it's open. You will then spend 2 to 3 hours exploring Herculaneum before walking back to the train station. Maybe grab a quick lunch or something to eat at the train station. Then hop on back to the Circumvesuviana to Pompeii Scavi. You can spend the whole afternoon at Pompeii visiting this site in depth. This way, you can do it in one day.
So yeah, it's a full day, but it's totally doable. You'll get to experience, both the intimate side of Roman life at Herculaneum, and the grand public world in Pompeii. If you want to take it slower, though, you could stay overnight near Pompeii or Sorrento, and that way you can visit each site on separate days and maybe even enjoy a glass of local wine in between. Now,
Absolutely.
time to move on to our personal recommendations. So, which one would you say is better, Pompeii or Herculaneum?
But honestly, both have their magic. But if for the first time in Italy, do Pompeii. It's iconic and breathtaking, and it's something that you never forget. But if you already seen Pompeii or you want a quieter, more intimate experience, Herculaneum is absolutely worth it. It feels like a hidden gem that most tourists skip. But if you love archaeology, consider visiting both.
But what are our favorites, right? Like, because that's what you guys all want to know. Well, I'm going to put my hand up. I'm going to say Herculaneum, smaller, better preserved. I love the fact that you can still see the details that unfortunately have been destroyed in Pompeii. And also seeing the skeletons by the boathouses at Herculaneum is a sight you'll never forget it. But what do you think?
Well, I also prefer Herculaneum, even though Pompeii is more famous. In Herculaneum, it's much easier to walk around the site with less tourists, giving you an easier and more intimate visit. However, if you are traveling half the way across the globe, probably Pompeii is the way to go because it's so much more famous. If you have the time and the energy, visit them both and let us know in the comment below which one is your favorite.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it, right? Pompeii versus Herculaneum. Which one should you choose, right? The two incredible windows into the past, each with its own story to tell. And whichever you choose, you're going to be walking through some ancient streets. You're going to be standing in some Roman homes, and you're going to feel the power of the history around you. We hope this video helped and it helped you plan your visit. And if you've already been, of course, let us know in the comments below which one you preferred. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe because it'll help others find the video. It'll support the channel and you won't miss us in the future, right?
Absolutely.
Well, folks, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.